Alright, so this is the third game in the OGN Apex final versus Reunited versus Afreeca Blue. Afreeca won the first map. Reunited stomped the second map. So this is the third map. I would probably give the edge to Afreeca Blue, but we'll see. Interesting comps coming out here. Morte is running Anna, or Mercy. Cruz is playing Anna. It's usually swapped the other way around, where Morte is playing the Anna. So I like the fact that they can swap like that. I'm not sure how good Cruz is on Anna, especially because anytime I ever tuned into his stream, he's just been spamming Genji on stream. I know for when he tried to get in the World Cup, when he played for the UK, all he did was play Genji. Unfixed is running Pharah on defense, so that makes sense why the Mercy is here. Oni God is on this D.Va, and I'm just so perplexed by this. Like, what do you think they're gonna run that defense matrix is that good? I don't see it, especially because if you're trying to shut down Recry, like, why are you running Valataja on Tracer? Like, yeah, he's an amazing Tracer, but why is... you don't have anything to kill? Like, Oni God shuts down Recry's Pharah for a limited time, which they probably think he's still running, but they don't have any way to kill him outside of Cruz shooting him, but Cruz should be healing. So like, no Reinhardt defense. They're running a dive comp with the Winston, and like these three dive with Unfixed and Morte floating over above, and Cruz same way in the back healing them. It's interesting, especially on 2CP. I actually like it. I'm just not sure if they're gonna pull it off, especially from what I've seen from them. Arhan on Genji, standard. Zarya, standard. I mean, Anna's standard to an extent, but I didn't really talk about that. If you're running Mercy, you can run Lucio, especially on a 2CP map where you have to run all the way back, but it's more common than not you won't see Lucio on defense. Recon on Roadhog, I think this is because Oni God has been sticking to D.Va so like frequently, and just Rocket hook through defense matrix and they can just pop D.Va mech immediately. And it's also super good to deal with Adam diving with this Winston. If he catches the hook when he lands, he's just dead and it doesn't matter. So I like Winghaven. So I like the Roadhog pick. I'm not sure how the damage is going to work out between Roadhog and Genji. I feel like Arhan could be on something else. But because they have a Mercy, Arhan can just chase her down and kill her. So it actually ends up working out. He just has to be. They have to be careful of Unfixed and his damage, which means Recry is gonna have to try to hook him, which isn't really the best. Adam with a dive comp, like kind of a weird dive comp, because you have like these three the dive comp, and then you just have a Roadhog. I'm not really sure what this comp is from Afreeca. I feel like Recry should just be on Pharah, especially because they've been running nothing to deal with the Pharah. We'll see if they manage to pull what they want to do off, if they have a plan for this. But
enough, yeah, on that on the Roadhog. Wow. Okay, so they're going a super heavy triple tank attack here. Arhan on the Genji.
I want to go back to that for a second.
Wow. Okay, so they're going.
Good positioning for a dive comp here. Winghaven staying on this top platform. Oni God staying on this bottom platform. You're not stacking too much here, so that means like if somebody stands up here to scout, and like say if Recry was on the Pharah and he comes up here to scout, he can't knock both of them off, forcing them both to use their thrusters to get back to their high ground position. Like it would make Winston use his jump and Oni God to use this. Also, they just can't take rocket damage. I can't tell who's standing. Who else is standing on Oni God here? I think that's Unfixed. I can't tell. I might just say his name twice and that's a bug. But this is good positioning to dive in on. I can see that there's a Mercy beam, and like Pharah's feet here. So that means they're spamming down onto here, which you can see. I I wouldn't be surprised if this team all ran into this right room and ran all the way around. Valataya's got an interesting position over here. If Freecs or Arhan were on a McCree, I feel like this could be very dangerous positioning. But as it is with their comp, it's really unlikely that Freecs will think to look here to hook. So he's probably pretty safe. And this is a really good 3-man collapse into here if they run here. He might have to use all 3 blinks to get back up to here, although if Afreeca decides, hey, we're going to walk through this side and come up onto this high ground here, that could be really bad. Morte's positioning, I mean, I don't think they're really expecting anything that can touch him, so I mean, him being back here is fine. Cruz is definitely staying on this high ground that's behind back here on like this building. Like the back of it has high ground. He's definitely standing back there, and he can see basically everything from this pink line to the entrance room on this other way. Like the only way he really gets cut off is with about here, like where this pink line is on this bridge. So if somehow they manage to rush in here and not all die, it cuts off Cruz's healing. But it doesn't look like they're going to do that, especially with the positions. So this is really good defensive positioning for this first fight at least. Smart that Afreeca is trying to scout for this.
And the pharmacy for Reunited on defense. I like the Only God Diva as well too. I think it's working out.
What is this first fight? What is okay? So Winghaven overcommits before they even run in. Recry keeps running in for some reason and dies here instead of turning around and just killing Winghaven. So what? And they pretty sure they called to turn around because Arhan of all people turns around to walk into the Winghaven's bubble they put down over here to start hitting him, and he's the one that did all this damage to him. So why is Recry over here dying? Like what? You can see that he was probably trying to. You can see the anti-heal grenade on this. Probably hit the Devo when he was Dayfly was trying to save Recry. But now they just kind of have to like back out and lose this fight. If Adam's already in here, that's 400 HP to ult charge that they just have. 600 already died. Like, look at this, 50 fucking %. Like, my God, that's ridiculous. Valataya also, because he was standing over here, also just helped to instantly kill Recry. And like, look at this, he's at 69%, not 69. Because why? Because he speed boosts, yes man speed boosts him in, and Recry doesn't respond to the team play of Reunited fast enough. So this is really good. Also the fact that Morte has like 33% ult is kind of confusing to me. I know that Mercy's the fastest building ult, but did Recry decide to also shoot at unfixed, even though again like Winghaven was behind him? I don't know, that's weird. That's really strange to me. But they're just gonna lose this first fight, and anybody that's in here is just gonna give them ult charge, and Reunited's gonna have the ult charge advantage on defense.
Gonna have a hard time pushing forward after that.
I think they need to switch though on their.
Okay, so what is this? Okay, so half of them ran into the hallway over here. Like half of them ran into this hallway and said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, and the other half just ran out into the open on the other side and died. Like, what is this? You're literally fighting at 3v6s because you're not even pushing at the same time. Like, what? And now the fact that you're still in here just gives Reunited even more ults.
Going off while there's really nobody to do anything. Dayfly is here again, dying very late. His teammates can't save him. They're gonna continue to push.
Like, why are you fighting this?
Aggressively right now.
Wow, yeah, Winghaven has to back away. Blue will claim a bit of the high ground anyway.
Arhan runs around back, they probably know he's here, especially with Oni God seeing him there. They know he's here. They should just, yeah, Winghaven should just stop him from doing anything. Forces him to go back. Now they're trying to push through that choke point with a Pharah spamming it. Like, that's not going to work. Especially with this barrage. Okay, Recry spots him doing this, so this shuts him down. Oh wow, what a great hook. This is what I mean about why are you running this diva? Like, yeah, it worked to like jump in at the first place, but why didn't you just support the Winston by having a Zarya bubble? If you had a Zarya standing on the other high ground, when Recry or when Unfixed ulted up here, you could have Zarya bubbled him and he wouldn't be dead. That's completely because you're running this diva for some reason when she can't even eat anything on this team except for an ult, which if you're a smart Zarya, it's not hard to work around that ult. But Morte gets destroyed here. Just Recry lands a hook out of nowhere. The fact that they have no Lucio speed and he has to run all the way back, and they're probably going to have to devote Valataya back over towards that to just help Morte get back by spamming Guardian Angel on him, means that they should just run out right now or die right now, and they need to speed boost in the front gate for the next fight. And they can actually win, especially with Unfixed dead. Like, this is a huge opportunity for Afreeca. They need to just disengage this fight and just run back in because they'll have 2 advanced spawns. This is also why it's confusing that they don't have a Zarya, because Cruz is standing up on that edge, and if anything runs at him, he's probably just gonna die because he's by himself. It's confusing to me why they did that, and yeah, like, it's most likely that Arhan's gonna kill him, and because Unfixed is dead as well, Arhan really doesn't have any problem fighting this, so they can probably just back out, like, back out of this room that they're in over here, out this door, and just sprint back over this point and help Arhan, because Arhan's gonna get at least a third of this point by himself. And if they run over here, because Yes Man's still alive, and they sound barrier to like make up for the fact that Dayfly is dead, they can win this fight pretty hard. I'm not sure if Recry is gonna make it out of there, but you definitely need to speed boost him over here. And like, Valataya is the only thing to kill these 3 tanks with a Lucio, and he has threat from Arhan and a little bit of threat from Arhan, and has to watch his lines with Recry. This is really confusing. What the hell Reunited's trying to do here?
We're gonna get some time on this point. Looks like they will.
They try to force through this, which I think is the wrong idea. But so Onigod and Winghaven are just trying to stall with Winston ult and Diva just being Diva. But Onigod doesn't have ult, so he can't like blow up anything and just redo it. Especially with like no tank and you're solo tanking Winston without ult, you're definitely gonna lose this point. So I was just like, they lost the point because they're running useless Diva instead of a Zarya, and they're playing like they have a Zarya, which I don't understand. Jhin being up here is really good to try and farm his ulti to combo with something. Morte, okay. Morte switches to Zenyatta here, which I like. It's good versus, it's good to deal with Zarya. If you get a Discord on Winston, it's super good to deal with a Winston. It can just, his ult can just straight up counter a nano boost if it's not on Whole Hog, or at least it requires Whole Hog's attention. Counters Dragon Blade. Whole Hog can counter it by knocking it away if they don't nano boost it. Like, say Recry Whole Hog's Morte's ult away, and they just nano boost with Arhan, then they can just die here. They're trying to rush in here and get this point, but it's not going to happen because Unfixed probably switched to his best hero. I think Mei is Unfixed's best hero, so this is a really good switch. Onigod still confused why he's on this Diva, but I guess he has ult. And I guess they're just trying to like stall this. But the momentum is such in Afreeca Blue's favor because Reunited took a fight they couldn't really win without a Zarya, so they just gave Afreeca Blue like ult advantage. And yeah, you gain everybody back to the point, but one wipe and it doesn't really matter. I really like the switch to Reaper here to deal with like the 3 tanks that Afreeca's has. Like I really like that switch, especially with the Mei. Like you can just deal with anything coming into you. But I feel like Afreeca Blue's ults can just overwhelm it, and because you just swapped 3 heroes, you're restarting 3 ults, so that's kind of a big deal. And Winghaven used his ult last fight, so
Right, we've got the Zenyatta now.
it's like 2v5 ults.
Handle those tanks. Arhan pulling out the Dragon Blade. He's got the nano boost. Freecs getting
Arhan gets an amazing amount of worth out of that for getting it like grenaded right away versus a Mei and a Reaper. Has a decent ulti there, but they're gonna be able to stall this out. Arhan should have been more careful when he ulted.
What is that?
That's a nano boosted Zenyatta.
Yeah, do some damage. Oh.
Alright, they nano boost the Zenyatta. I feel like they were trying to nano boost the Reaper, but he ended up dying out of Wraith. That's interesting. That might be a big misplay. The issue is Unfix is already at 70% ult because Mei ult still builds stupid fast. So it's going to be like super hard for Afreeca to break this point. They're going to need to dry push probably once to get their ultis and try to force Unfix to pop his Blizzard. If not, they're going to have to dry push again to force the Blizzard. And at that point, like, Winghaven, who just switched to Reinhardt, might have Earth Shatter, and that could fuck up the fight just as bad, or just screw over Afreeca's push as hard as Blizzard could. So this could be really bad.
Oh, my dreams are dead. I had such high hopes for you, Morty.
I mean, bad for the attackers, good for the defense.
Well, it doesn't end up mattering. Looks like they are going to be able to push them back off the point. That's a bit of a disaster there for Afreeca Blue that came in with such a tremendous advantage.
Winghaven drops here, I don't know why. He dies because he drops. So both their tanks die for kind of like no reason. Arhan's actually playing this well. Jin, sorry, I keep saying Oni and Jin, like getting them mixed up for whatever reason. I don't know why I'm getting names mixed up today. He throws this, and because Zenyatta ult builds actually stupid fast, he forces the Zenyatta ult. But this is actually probably smart because he's gonna get Nano or Blade back before the next Zenyatta ult. Because they had to use this in a Graviton, and they don't have any other ult, this forces the unfixed Blizzard right now so they can win the next fight because he won't have Blizzard. This is looks bad because he doesn't get anything with this Graviton, but him forcing the only other ult that they have for defending this point makes it so unfixed, and just nullifying it with this Graviton makes it so unfixed has to throw this ulti. Even though 2 of them are dead, there's just a chance that they win. So just because they're all grouped up in this corridor, you don't know where Arhan is. You think he might be higher ult percentage than this, and if he gets damage on 3 people, then he could just Dragon Blade. So, and they just get ult charge off this too, like for the next fight if they force Unfixed. I really think Unfixed should be throwing ult here.
Capitalize on it, no, because the Transcendence comes in.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I mean,
they should have hard committed to that and just forced Unfixed to use Blizzard, because now he has Blizzard for the next push, and now what's going to happen is the same stuff, and you just wasted your Graviton for 0 reason. So instead of capitalizing on a good thing that they did, they just back out. But I mean, I guess it forces Morte's ult, but you have Blizzard. If they forced Blizzard there, that was super good, but they didn't. Good wall, Jin's dead.
That's another time where you see Afreeca's overextension.
That was, yeah, overextension, just like Monte Cristo said on the VOD. They need to group up to win, but they just kind of gave them some ults that they shouldn't. So instead of being even on ults with the Mei Blizzard being a big factor for Reunited, they're like slightly ahead of Afreeca.
They kind of lack the ability to sort of know when to attack, know when to go in and commit. They're going to try it now. Arhan does get the kill.
Okay. What is that positioning? So let me go back slightly. So you're all running back to set up in positions here, right?
Yeah.
look where Arhan goes. So you saw him spamming in the front gate. Only God sees him here can call out to his team where he's going. Neither of these supports move. Morte actually walks into here like he doesn't know he's here. And if that's the case, that's just super bad communication. But like, he walks into here, takes 3 shurikens, loses half of his health for this. The other support is right here. Where is your help? Your help is over here. Reinhardt is forced to stand in this gate. I don't know where else this help is going to be, but they're just isolated in this bubble, like this half of the point where they're just going to have to fight this Genji, and Arhan almost has ult. The fact is that he doesn't even need to ult to kill them. That's just great play by Arhan, especially because Cruz took a chunk of damage from something, but like, what is this positioning, especially because he knew he was coming? This literally potentially will throw them the fight for whatever reason, I don't know, but like, why are they here? They literally had every tool in the world to know that he's coming, but they still die.
Improvement from Recry as this tournament has gone on, and I think on this side of the bracket they may be a favorite to make it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe
Blizzard,
that.
Yeah.
I love Twitch VODs.
They need a bit more coordination. And
Only God should call it out. Doesn't call it out. For some reason, he's still standing there instead of chasing Arhan. He could have even chased him. He gets this kill. What I was trying to do was pause it there to show that if he had chased him, he could have also been there to try and help deal with this Adam Winston that just jumped in with Arhan and just secured the deal on both their supports. Now both their supports are dead. This forces this for absolutely zero reason that this should be happening right now, because they just don't work as a team. Winghaven jumps into here. I don't know why he does. He just leaves the Tracer and Mei to the other thing. Unfixed throws his Blizzard before he, or Ice Block away before getting on the point. So this Blizzard's pointless outside of getting 1 kill from Morte, but
alright, he killed his favorite pupil apparently. Onigod has the nano boost. It looks
like
Freecs Blue are just gonna take the
that was awful. Like, what? These two just threw that away. Unfixed doesn't stall the point at all because he ice blocks right here. And then throws the Blizzard under the point. But why don't you throw the Blizzard, try to walk over, and then ice block on the point? And like, you should know at this point that Arhan's gonna have his Dragon Blade. Why are you ice blocking here? He hasn't popped Dragon Blade yet. Get to the point border that's like right here. Like, just get to the point border and ice block here. Like, what is this? And they literally just, they shouldn't have got this at all. Like, Mei ulti should just shut that down, and the fact that like Winghaven and, or sorry, Adam and Arhan just got in on these two for zero reason is just actually ridiculous. Like, they just threw that entire fight. Why? I have no idea. They should know.
They kept him off there for long enough. That was
that's just
abrupt.
Yeah, it was abrupt, but the Roadhog ultimate helping to push people off
that's just
the point
Reunited not looking like a team compared to Afreeca.
Like Unfixed
But Afreeca doesn't look like a team on payload maps apparently.
Managed to get it down, but it still wasn't enough. Everybody else had already died on the backside. And we do see right now that's a pretty decent time, 3:13 for point B. It's going to be tough, I think, for Reunited to attempt to match that, but it could have been a lot faster, though.
I don't understand what the idea of support positioning is either. They're both standing in the same corner. Like, even outside of like not calling that out, they're both standing in the same corner. Like, one of them could have walked away. I understand. Not Morte. Cruz walking towards there to try to get a sleep dart, but I don't know. That was interesting.
That many ultimates for one team at one time.
Afreeca Blue, where are you running on defense? Interesting that they keep this Recry on Roadhog.
They've had a better time of diving the back line. They simply have more people diving.
They're running a dive comp. I'm really confused the lack of Reinhardt in this series. Do they not
thing
think he's
is
good?
that
Especially like with the
Jin
soldier buffs.
hasn't been playing the D.Va. He's been playing the Zarya, and that's not really
Why is
helping
Yes Man here?
them apparently keep their supports alive enough.
Is he actually
Or
just
to
trying to
bring
like
a lot of
scout?
pressure on the enemy support. So, seems like
That's actually
the
super
way
smart
these
if he
fights
gets
have
to
been
like
going is
scout
Reunited
from
dives in,
that.
cleans up the supports, cleans up the rest of the fight, and Afreeca just doesn't have as
Especially
much
because they're all
control
jumping around the
as
room
many
there. That's
people
actually like
in that
super
back.
good if they get to scout what the other comp
Very
is.
true.
I mean, they can always change. It's like as the gates open, but if they don't know he's there, like,
Top with Adam and
Bye.
a grenade jump off there.
that's just an interesting spot to let you know as well. Like, just game knowledge through this window when you're standing on the top of the boxes. With a Reinhardt, you can see the little platform that the high ground is when you first walk in. With Reinhardt, you can see. With other heroes, you have to jump up to see. But you kind of get to scout what your other team is running.
All right.
So you can see
Reunited on
like,
the attack
that they
now.
have somebody standing up there. So Africa Blue, standard, dive comp standard. Roadhog is still somewhat perplexing, but I don't hate it, especially if it's kind of there to deal with the Pharah from Unfixed as well in case he runs it. So I don't mind it, especially because it's on defense, and it just adds some beefiness to this lineup. Especially because Reunited hasn't been running Reaper, so Valatai has a lot to do for killing tanks, and this just makes him watch his line of sights. But standard dive comp outside of, so like standard for a dive comp, standard for a dive comp. You can run Zenyatta, but whatever. Why do they keep running this D.Va? Has this D.Va done anything like the entire game? The entire match. They keep picking this D.Va, and I'm just so confused at what its purpose is. And they've been running this Roadhog against the D.Va, and it's been working phenomenally. So why do they keep running the D.Va? So outside of the D.Va, I don't really have any issues with either of these comps. But like, why are you not running the Zarya?
And let's see what they can get
Especially when you have Valatai on Tracer, and you could fucking Graviton Pulse Bomb.
And we'll see if Freecs Roadhog can do a little bit better.
They're
than they
running
did
very
on
similar.
Brown.
Africa Blue is running very similar dive positions to where Reunited was, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Back away. There's Recry though. Right click, man.
That's what I mean. Roadhog just makes Tracer double think things. That was just good shot. That completely shuts down their push. That was really good by Recry. Like buys them like the free 30 seconds from a right click.
That is one of the most satisfying things in Overwatch. Blowing up somebody like that with a right click on Roadhog, oh, it feels so good. You love your Roadhog. I do love my Roadhog.
Like all this D.Va's doing is actually just feeding Jin ults, in my opinion.
Nice knockoff actually messes up Afreeca Freecs Blue quite a bit.
So yeah, he gets a good knockoff there. I think that's more only God's personal mechanics than D.Va's a hero. Unfixed manages to kill Dayfly because I think Dayfly was standing in the same spot as Cruz was, where Arhan just killed him. So that's not really that surprising, but he should have learned from what Arhan did the last fight. Yes Man's in a bad position now because he's here. Onigod's here. He's outside of this Winston bubble. Winghaven doesn't have Winston bubble to protect this point with. Unfixed has reset his dash and is somewhere behind this line in this vicinity, and that's exactly where Yes Man's running towards. So that's not good. And Arhan's over here. So I think Yes Man should back up into this Winston bubble and wait for Arhan to join him in the Winston and run in there together. Especially because they're gonna get some of this point. It doesn't matter what you do now because Recry and Dayfly are just dead. And Jin's out position out here. So because he got knocked down over here off this ledge, so Jin's somewhere over here, if not dead. Or going to die because you can see, where is it? His health has just started to drop, so they might be killing him now after they killed Recry. So they definitely just need to like fight this D.Va on this top point and then run to the point afterwards and force Onigod to go towards one of his healers.
Back now, only God on that platform.
So they're saying on the platform. I think Winghaven jumps in here too fast.
Well.
Valataya is just doing work. He doesn't have the Winston bubble for this, so he's just gonna kind of die.
There we go. Adam finally taken down.
I mean, only God, like Diva's good to counter Winston, but I feel like the lack of Reinhardt's ridiculous.
Bought a lot of time distracting the Winston play.
Wow.
Onigod has honestly been great so far on this Diva. He's looked a lot more confident.
So Onigod actually did work with the Diva, but that's just like such like an inconsistent thing to depend on with this Diva.
Adam's life hell. I just gotta wonder
Do I
if
hate
Jin
Diva?
actually
Probably,
do
and that's
anything
probably
else
why
right
I
now. This might
dislike her
be
in
a
any
flaw
scenario
in the
of the game.
composition. Reunited gonna be coming in with a nano blade.
Just because the kit doesn't make any sense, in my opinion.
Strong push, possibly.
It ended up doing work, so I guess it did work. Just better positioning though. They have the Tracer positioned over there, so like Valataya has to watch where he's going. Bad pulse bomb, but he kind of has to force it. Okay. I'm just gonna stop this for a second. If Dayfly with a goddamn Lucio on his team dies to another fucking Diva ult, I'm actually calling this kid the worst fucking professional player I've ever seen in my entire life. In any fucking esport.
Doesn't get a ton done with it though. And Blue is in serious danger of losing the point right here. They've got to hold it with the respawn.
And he's drooling on his keyboard when Diva presses ulti. It's ridiculous. Arhan's beating Unfixed in a Genji 1v1, but he doesn't kill him, so it doesn't matter. How is he not? There you go, Arhan. Arhan wasn't doing damage, Unfixed wasn't doing damage all that time, and Arhan was just chasing around, so that's good. Valataya didn't get any work done somehow, so that's good. Arhan is just hard carrying this point. Jeez. That fight was hard carried by Arhan. It's just mechanical prowess, and he almost has Dragon Blade now. That's surprising. That's very surprising, actually. Did he just try to edge dash off that? Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if you edge dash off that piece, whether you can actually get to that archway. I don't like Recrest positioning here. I feel like they're trying to offensively use. Oh my! Never mind. Never mind. His positioning's fine. Okay, that is just worth. Like, his positioning was bad, but the fact that that happened doesn't matter. His positioning doesn't matter anymore. They just bought them since his Tracer probably 15 seconds. My god. Okay, there you go. I was wondering why Unfixed wasn't being pushed off that point. Winghaven jumps in here. That's good. Great sleep by Dayfly on Winghaven. That's completely wasting his ulti. Jin's in a good position here. Nobody dealt with him.
Oh, he actually lives.
Okay. I just want to point this out. So, this team is running a semi-tank buster in Valataya. Onigod, the guy that should be on Zarya this entire time, is now on Reaper. So now they're running 3 DPS. They're super squishy. They're running 3 DPS with a 400 HP Winston tank that melts like butter. This team will not live through a blizzard. No matter what, will not live through a blizzard, even with sound barrier from Cruz. What is their plan to deal with this Mei? Yes, Reaper can kill the Mei, and yes, Tracer can deal with the Mei, but you literally can't live through a blizzard. She can just throw a blizzard down, doesn't matter. You're trying to deal with Jin and Adam, I guess, on these tanks, but that's not your issue. Your issue is Arhan and Recry. And if anything, this just gives Arhan more time to work, like more room to work with, because you're just giving him another hero that he can potentially 1v1. And you're throwing away Diva ults. Well, I'm kind of glad you threw away the fucking Diva ult. That thing's a piece of shit. But why is Valataya not switching to this Reaper, and why are you not switching to a Zarya? And And again, like, imagine if you were on Zarya, you wouldn't need this Reaper because you could Graviton Pulse Bomb. So, like, just this team and team comps just confuse me as much as Afreeca confuses me. That's why I don't think these are very strong teams within this tournament. Just because they're super reliant on meta, and in the current meta where you can play a lot of different things, they're not strong, in my opinion. It's just teams don't know what to counter them with yet.
Huge. That would have been another 10 seconds shaved off immediately, but Afreeca, good decision making on their ults throughout that entire fight. They didn't use any ults, Noah. Now they have
Afreeca has 6
for this
ults.
push. Can use an nano boost immediately onto Adam. Unfixed though, pulling out the Dragon Blade, going after the members of Blue.
Unfixed is getting nothing done with the ulti.
Actually manages to live through that blizzard now for the Freecs.
Doesn't live through a blizzard even with sound barrier. Exactly what I said. Doesn't live through a blizzard with sound barrier. What is this comp supposed to do? Grats, Oni God's gonna get fucking staggered here. It doesn't matter if he gets kills, even if he has this ulti, because you don't get the speed boost from the nano boost anymore. So how are you gonna use this ulti, especially when Mei can wall you off?
Yeah, I mean, Jin has the graviton surge, so
That's just like another thing. Like, yeah, you can kill Mei, but she can wall you off, and you can like stop your death blossom like pretty badly. Or even Adam, if you want to suicide, could jump on top of you and drop the bubble, and then you're not doing anything with your nano boost death blossom. My God. Okay, I need to go back and rewatch that. Watch what happens with this graviton. So the bubble kind of look at this. So he gravitons, and they push it up with a Mei wall. They push this up with a Mei wall to give better sightline for this. Instead of it being like down here, it's now up here. My God, that's impressive. Arhan dying here is really bad. But Oni God's spinning in this, so that's definitely, he died to a nuke from Ana with Oni God spinning. So if nobody else is in range of this, it doesn't really matter. But I think Adam is potentially gonna die from this. But if Oni God dies because he's stuck in ulti right now, then it's worth, especially with him having to run all the way back. And now Winghaven's on Reinhardt. You have an Unfixed is on this Mei. So they switch their comp again, like they're just throwing away ultis when they're doing this. That's a penis. Oh God, it is. Okay, well, I'm just gonna ignore that. But if Oni God dies here, it doesn't matter. They don't have ult to work with because he switched. They don't have a Winston ult because he switched. I like this because they're having issues getting in here, but nothing they have can really deal with it. Like, I don't understand what this comp the Reunited keeps going for is trying to do. And again, like, you have Valataya, probably one of the best Tracer players that I've seen. Just not able to do anything with this pulse bomb, which he has so often, because your off-tank player's on fucking Reaper. Why can't Unfixed play Reaper? If you want to run that, why can't he be on Zarya? Like, if this was a Zarya and this was a Reaper, or even if Unfixed was on a Zarya, this would be a good comp. But it's just super hard for them to win fights because they don't have any condition to win a fight off of outside of a Blizzard now, which Unfixed just switched to, so he has to build this whole Blizzard from 46%. And if he dies, like, defense has to walk like 2 feet to the fucking point, and meanwhile, like, offense has 1,000 meters to go. So this could be good for them, but Oni God dies because he's stuck in Death Blossom. Cruz is almost dead. Cruz dies. Unfixed is almost dead. Doesn't matter how much work Valataya does. 3 of his teammates are dead. He can't 1v6. He can try to 1v6. He can't do it.
And I mean, look at the timer. Reunited really didn't get any actual.
If anything, Valataya staying alive that long is not good for them.
lot of trouble. They're going to have to play super well around this May ultimate because that may be one of their last chances to get onto this point.
Recry and Unfixed are like even on May ultimates, but defense has a better ult stash than offense because offense just keeps throwing away ult chargements by changing their comp. Why is Valataya on the Reaper now, and why is Onigod on the Zarya now with 2 minutes left? Like, he's gonna get... on a normal basis, the Zarya is gonna get Graviton at overtime. Why are you switching away Valataya, who's had 50 fucking pulse bombs stuffed up his ass as Tracer this game, to Reaper? Like, I'm actually so tilted. And you just threw away another goddamn ult charge. Oh my god. I think it's making me sick. Oh, like, what is this? So now you're literally depending on 2 ultimates to fight Afreeca's Blues. Probably, like, you probably expect them to have 2.5, maybe 3 ultimates, and they have 3 and they almost have 4. So, like, what is Reunited trying to do?
Here we go. We'll see if they can make it work. Blue drops the sound barrier right away.
Valataya gets zoned. That's good. Arhan kills Morte immediately. That's really good.
And man, Reunited just completely stuffed. What can you say? Minute 30 remaining.
Recry has... like, this team can live... This team can live through a blizzard, but Recry has blizzard. Dayfly has Nano Boost, Adam has Nano Boost. Like, if you use those 3 together, they're not living through that. There's 2 fights left before you start that stagger overtime death.
They can't kill the May during the blizzard, and they can't kill the Winston during the primal range very easily, but I guess if Freecs could just shoot him in the head right now, then it doesn't matter.
Alright, well that helps. 6v5 as Reunited comes in. Valataya on the Reaper now.
Oh my god, okay. Again, they've been switching their comp up. Winghaven, who's on Reinhardt, who's a good Reinhardt, throws away his Earth Shatter charge. Why? I don't fucking know. Because he's an idiot. He's now at 8% of a Winston ulti, which is only good for stalling overtime on offense, really, unless you can actually make use out of it. And he just falls over dead. How do you have a way into this fight? So you have Reaper and May and no shield for them to stand behind to walk in. So how do you get this team fight in here? Even with speed boost, how do you get this in here versus a May and a Zarya? Like, how do you get this in here versus a May in general without just falling over dead? And they switched off the Reinhardt, so this team kind of just dies to Blizzard, other than Unfixed and Onigod just can die to a Blizzard again. And Recry has Blizzard. Surprise, surprise. And he just used it, so they'll probably just get wiped here.
A little bit more, but the Blizzard could be bad. Let's see if we can get anyone. There goes Cruz. Both supports out of the way. Morty goes down as well.
Both supports are dead.
Onigod, and Blue will hold strong. And now less than a minute remains.
I mean, if they switch, I swear, if they switch another hero and throw away this, like, I don't think Onigod's even gonna get the Mana Boost, to be honest, or the Graviton, to be honest with you. So now Unfixed, who's been holding on to this Blizzard for way too long. Like, when you have an ulti, you want to try to use it, like, quickly. You don't want to rush to use it, but you want to use it and make use out of the fact that you're not seeing a 100 charge. He's been staying on this for way too long. Probably, like, could have had 3 ultis by now. Just hasn't used it. Or 2 ultis, not 3. Arhan has Nano Boost with Dragon Blade. Interesting.
Onigod does go down. Gets a kill on Arm before he dies. Meanwhile, Valataya coming in with the Reaper now. A lot depends on him. Got a lot of health to work with. We're into overtime now. 2 kills for Reunited, but the respawns are going to be coming. Valataya's got that Death Blossom. When's he going to use it? Biding his time.
Arhan didn't make like any use of that Nano Blade, but I think 2 CPs come into effect here, and they'll just eventually all die. Great Maywall by Recry there. Zoning off Cruz from his entire team and forcing Morte to solo heal. Great. And now Onigod switched to Tracer to try to get back to this point to stall overtime, and that's GG.
That's 1 game away for them. from getting to the semifinals.
Yeah, as soon as you end the match with that kind
Like,
of composition and those particular
Reunited literally lost themselves the game like 15 times that game. Like, what? Like, they played first point really well, and then the second point they just kept throwing their team fight priorities, like, or team fight, like, wins away by just swapping off ultis, or just wasting ult charges, or just dry pushing and giving and losing and giving the other team ult. Like, what was that?